Okay, speakers.
Gen X, are we adults yet? I don't know. About to find out.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are Gen X, and welcome to our podcast. We're the last generation to grow up without internet.
I want to give a big shout out to all of our listeners, anyone who consumes our content, consumers of our content, Gen Xicans, our beloved Monday crew. Shout out to everyone who raised themselves after 3 p.m., did chores and homework out of fear, street light watching, mom whistling for blocks, BMX bike jumping, scrambled cable TV watching, friends of mine, best friends after we fight, Generation X. We freaking rule, you guys. Shout out to each and every one of you who check us out. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us. We are on all the platforms. TikTok is really hot. YouTube is really hot. Facebook is good to go for us as well. We're not too strong on the grams.
We neglect the grams.
we need to dedicate some more time to the grams and reach out to that younger audience. But you know what? We are doing well on TikTok, and so far so good on our social media. So thank you guys for jumping in and hanging out with us, man. Greg, how you doing over there, buddy?
What is up?
Tell us something freaking good. We've missed it for a few shows, man.
Hey, you know what? If you're tracking the progress of my wife's mom, I've talked about her a few times. She's been staying with us for about 5 months, and we've done some CT scans. We finally got a new one last week. We've had some trouble getting someone willing to take some pictures of her guts and try and figure out whether our holistic approach to cancer is working or not. And we found out as of yesterday that we've seen a 90% reduction in tumors.
Holy sheep shit, Batman.
So only 10% of the, and we'll be good to go.
Give us the details. You know what I mean? You had like CC measurements. You had like inches, like weight.
They basically, in layman's terms, I had it like break it down. It says like, so there's like the normal size football, and then there's like the peewee football that your 6 and 8-year-olds play with.
Right.
It used to be the size of a peewee football, or like a very large grapefruit.
Right.
Now we're talking about the size of a small egg, not even a large AA egg, like a small egg.
Right.
Maybe a small plum. It's all the cancer that's left.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's awesome.
We're pretty stoked.
That's something definitely to celebrate. I mean, that's definitely in the right direction.
I mean, we rolled the dice. We told the doctors to hit the road, and we decided to do what the internet said to do, and it's worked. So
well, it's working for sure, right? 90% reduction. It's not just a little bit. It's not just, well, she's in the good spirits. No, you have some hard data. You have numbers from you have more than just she looks good. You know what I mean? So that's,
yeah. I mean, she's been looking good and feeling good and doing stuff around the house and stuff. We've been pretty stoked with all that. And now we finally got some actual numbers. They put a tube in her back.
Yeah.
Because when the cancer was big, it was blocking between the kidney and the bladder. The kidney was starting to die. So they put a tube in to drain the kidney, and then in order to take that out, they had to do another CT scan. And while we were at the radiology appointment yesterday, we were like, hey, can you look around at those tumors and tell us what you see? And so pretty stoked.
That's awesome. That's good. Keep us in the loop, man. That's definitely worth sharing. Shout out to all of our viewers out there. Thank you for joining us on our live show. We have something very special, something I put together. I started putting this together when I read that Ozzy was putting together his final show, Back to the Beginning. They announced it a few months back before the show was on, and I'm like, we already knew that, you know, he was in bad health. We already knew that things were winding down.
Yeah.
And so this episode is kind of what I put together. I put together this little intro video. We're going to open with that. I just want to say I love how the world is loving Ozzy.
Yeah,
I love how the world is
all
loving.
The people come out of the woodwork to talk about him.
I knew he wasn't like this hidden gem that, you know, this forgotten treasure. I knew, you know, I know this, right? I know this, and we'll get into all that. But here's our video. We had all of those magazines growing up.
Right?
We had all of those magazines growing up. And that's the Ozzy that I kind of first knew was just the two big tattoos on his chest.
Yeah.
And it was, MTV, of course, but that Ozzy
The
with
Ozzy
that
that we were
haircut.
scared of.
Yes.
I lost the best friend that I ever had.
He looks scary.
Heaven is in the palm of my hand and it's waiting here for you. What am I supposed to do with a child in tragedy? If I close my eyes forever, will it all remain the same?
I've seen Ozzy live a few times, and I watched a lot of his footage. He was all about the crowd work, man. He had great crowd work.
I never did see him live.
I mean, look at this crowd. He's fucking crying, bro. Go give a shout out to Cindy. Chris and Cindy are joining us. Yay, what's up, peeps? So I started making that here we go. Boom. I started making that video, putting that together, and then I didn't put any of the funeral in there. I did put some of the back to the beginning. Obviously, that was Mama Coming Home clip from there the last time he was going to sing it live. And hey, you know what? The poor guy was on his deathbed, but thank you for for that one last concert. Here's a trivia question. There's a video clip out there. What is the last thing Ozzy Osbourne said on stage?
At that final concert thing?
Yes.
I don't know.
He's sitting in the chair and the camera's from the side and he's turned in the chair. He's turned in the chair like this. You could clearly read his lips. Turn the fucking stage. Hurry up and turn the fucking stage. The stage was a circle. And whatever band was playing now, the back half of that circle, the other band was setting up. And so when that band was done playing their set, that whole stage just rotated and bam, that new band was already out there in front. You know what I mean? So
right.
So he had his chair, he was propped into his chair, he was seatbelted in, he was strapped into his chair, and they had his chair loaded at the end of the show. That I didn't grab that clip. I should have grabbed that clip, but that's the last thing Ozzy said on stage, man. Was hurry up and turn the fucking stage. Oh well. So this episode, what we're going to do is Gen X's favorite Ozzy moments. And I think we all have the same Ozzy moments. But for me, 6th grade seemed to be my earliest memories of Ozzy Osbourne. And I knew he sang that song Iron Man in Black Sabbath. And I also knew he had a song out called Bark at the Moon because a classmate of mine in 6th grade, we had like a school newsletter. It wasn't out very long, and only a couple came out, and it was just this printed piece of paper with this, like song dedications, and it was like a little mini yearbook, right? A little newsletter, right? School.
We had that.
And so we had one for Sequoia. Shout out Sequoia Tigers. And in that, we got to do song dedications. And my friend Mike, he dedicated Bark at the Moon to a girl. And that was our way of saying, you're a dog, you're ugly and all that stuff. Because when we were kids,
6th grade insult right there.
Well, calling a girl a dog, that was a, I mean, she could get mad over that shit. That was a legit,
the worst thing you could do.
Right. So anyway, so I knew Ozzy had Bark at the Moon. I also knew that he had the song Iron Man, which is really popular, even back then, right? But here's the thing. When he bit the head off that bat, right? I heard about that on the news. It was all over the magazines. And you guys got to remember this, anyone not our age, we didn't have the internet. And Ozzy wasn't really on TV. We had MTV kind of, but he really wasn't there. We got most of our information from magazines. And then 81 MTV did come out, and we did get a lot of his videos and stuff and a lot of his live footage. And so maybe some of the MTV news had the idea that, or had the story that he would bit the head off a bat. But here I am in around 6th grade, 1984-ish, telling these Ozzy stories. Well, he's also the one who sings Iron Man. You know that song, I Am Iron Man, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like this, I don't know, music professional, I guess. I'm trying to, I know this about Ozzy. He has a song, Bark at the Moon. I've never heard any of his music until that point. I knew he had the song Bark at the Moon. I couldn't tell you what it sounded like. I never heard
it was more folklore than it was.
I didn't own any Ozzy music. And my friends that I had didn't own any Ozzy music.
No.
And whatever Ozzy music we had, he got really popular on MTV when Shot in the Dark came out. I think it was 86 or something like that. Shot in the Dark, right? That whole album, or it came off the Ultimate Sin album, and Shot in the Dark was in. So that was super popular. That kind of put him in like the MTV generation, the MTV, viewership.
That and if you spin his records backwards, it plays evil or says things.
In a few years from now, from where we are, yes, the whole heavy metal satanic collaboration or whatever, they were intertwined.
Stuff that I knew all that stuff before I ever even heard an Ozzy Osbourne song.
So I'm glad you said folklore and like urban legends and stuff like that. When Ozzy bit, I knew this. Here's the story I was telling. When Ozzy bit the head off that bat, he got rabies. And so we all know what happens when you get rabies. There's a 12-inch needle that has to go in your stomach.
Yeah, right in your stomach.
Right in your stomach if you get rabies. So don't pet that dog. Fear. Hella fear, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I was scared of Ozzy before I ever heard. And the crazy thing was that when CDs came out, that was the first CD I ever bought. What was the 91, 92 album?
Oh shit! Not the Ultimate Sin. Not that's the one with Mama I'm Coming Home. That's the one with Mr. Tinker Train, or no?
Oh, how come I can't?
Oh my goodness, I can't freaking think. You're not supposed to ask me that shit right off the bat.
No More Tears.
Oh yeah,
No More Tears album. That was my very first CD I ever bought. When I bought a CD player and I could afford my first CD that had just come out, and I bought that in Yokohama at Tower Records, bro. At Tower Records, Yokohama.
Tower Records, Yokohama. You bought your first Ozzy. See, I don't remember owning any Ozzy until, you know what? I owned Tribute in high school. That's when I heard, because Tribute is basically his first album, but just live version. That's basically the most of Randy Rhoads' good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so my earliest knowledge is I knew he bit the bat off, and I knew he got rabies, and we all know when you get rabies, you have to have that needle jammed in your stomach. Which, you know what, I believe that so much that when I got older, like probably my teens or my 20s or whatever, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, where on my body do they have to use a 12-inch needle that they can't use a 2-inch needle and come in from a different fucking direction?
Yeah, it's kind of, that's not true, right? You don't really have to do a
12-inch, like,
is that
20
really
shots in your stomach or something? No, it was fear to make us not let us.
Who made that
animals
up,
and
bro?
shit?
Whose idea even was that?
My mom.
Right?
I don't know.
Don't step on a nail.
But yeah, you get tetanus and lockjaw, and your jaw will tighten up and you won't be able to talk.
You'll have to put a feeding tube in your. That was all the fear shit they fed.
You know how many fucking nails I stepped on? All of them. I stepped on all that shit. Yes. So, I
just never told anyone. I just stepped on nails and never told my parents because I was afraid of the needle. I stepped on hella nails.
Right. We all know the story of Ozzy biting a dove. I think it was like 1982. It was in like Ohio or something like that. Somebody throws a bat up on the stage and he thinks it's a prop or he thinks it's whatever, and he bites the head off, and it's a big old story. Do you guys know the story of the dove? If you Google Ozzy bites a dove, the first 500 results are Ozzy didn't bite the head off a dove; he bit the head off a bat. Here's the bat story. But there's a dove story.
Really?
This dove story. He met with the CBS record executives, right? The CBS executives, his record label and stuff. And I guess from all the shenanigans from before and all this other stuff, he wanted to like reconnect with the executives. He wanted to reconnect with the fans, I guess, and show that, hey, you know what? I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy. And he wore this really nice suit. I think it was like an all white suit. He wore this really nice suit. He did all these things, and they released these doves when he was like making the speech or whatever, or this picture photo op, whatever. They released the doves, and I guess one of the doves landed on his shoulder, and he just leaned over and just kind of bit the head of the dove, and everybody started freaking out and screaming, blah blah blah. And that was the story. But Ozzy Osbourne goes on David Letterman and talks about the thing, and I guess the dove was already dead.
Leader of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne is known for his frenetic stage performances and his outlandish antics. It says here, the word madman almost always precedes his name. Welcome, please, Madman Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy, thank you very much for being here. You don't look like a madman.
Look, can assure you I am.
You are a
I can
madman.
assure you I am.
I'm gotta
Let's just get right to it. What I hear, that you bit the head.
Oh, don't. I want to bite the head of that monkey,
No, you didn't. You did.
No, one of them.
Oh, the smoking monkey. Oh,
Yeah, I want to smoke the monkey.
let's see.
Gonna
There it is,
smoke the
smoking
monkey.
That's the only one
Got
we
his
have.
skins.
No, but you actually, or you did, maybe you didn't actually bite.
Oh, well, it was a sheer accident, actually, because I got a lot of...
Well, wait a minute. Before you start explaining it, let's tell them what you did. Bit the head off a bat. There, I said it.
It wasn't Batman, it was like a bat.
Uh-huh.
A real bat,
Okay, now, you were about to explain that.
I was just about to explain it, yes. What actually happened was I get a lot of weird people at my concerts, like, it's kind of rock and roll, And somebody threw a bat on stage, and I thought it was one of these toy bats. So I picked it up, bite the thing's head off, and suddenly everybody's freaking out because it's a real bat, because, like, on the stage set, like, the bat goes, like, asleep when the lights go on it. So.
So it was, for all practical purposes, a toy bat.
Yeah, but I can assure you the rabies shots that I went through afterwards aren't fun.
No, they're painful, I understand.
Very painful.
Now, did you know immediately, not having bitten into...
Well, I've eaten some pretty rough chicken on the road,
Now, but there are other accounts where you bit the head off was it a pigeon?
Well, it's my hobby,
No, now, see, you're going to give these people the wrong... It's not really your hobby, is it?
Let's have a look at your neck.
No, hey. Now, explain that one.
Your neck?
No, the pigeon or the dove or whatever it was.
Well, I was kind of peckish when they had a CBS convention.
Uh-huh.
His iced tea is great. Excuse me.
Certainly, sir.
And there was a pigeon there, so I thought, well, nothing else, bite the pigeon.
Fucking nothing.
The pigeon didn't mind, man, because he had no choice,
Yeah. Ozzy...
There's not a lot you can say about that.
I know,
really.
let's just, and this
Let's have a look at your neck again.
No, now stop that. And we don't want to spend all our time discussing you biting the heads off stuff, but now why would you want to do that exactly?
Well, people have put me down for doing this, folks, but...
Oh, I'm not putting you down. You want to do that, that's fine.
But you see, the thing is, Colonel Saunders, how many chickens do you think he put to death? He didn't bite the heads up, but everybody else did.
Yeah. Now, when you have a concert, does this kind of behavior attract a peculiar group?
Don't tell me, please. We had one guy, for instance, I mean, you can imagine these guys. I'm going to an Ozzy Osbourne concert, and he goes at the house with an ox's head on his shoulder. And it's true. Goes to one of my concerts with an ox's head on his shoulder. And it's kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
A what head?
I think it was an oxen head, maybe a horse fucking head or an ox head, oxen head. I don't know. The fucking. I've been to a few Aussie concerts. It's pretty crazy.
We've seen some weirdos at some concerts, and I'm sure Aussie concerts bring the best weirdos.
So Ozzy Osbourne and then his manager and wife Sharon were meeting with the CBS execs, and they were there to promote his debut solo album, Blizzard of Oz. Sharon had arranged for Ozzy to give a short speech and release the white doves, and I guess that one of the doves was already dead, is the actual story, and so he didn't like kill another animal. He just bit you, and I don't think he bit the head off, but he bit it. And that picture we have, he's got the blood like you can see it like drippy on his mouth or whatever. And so yeah. Anyways,
why are his eyes like that?
That's Ozzy fucking Osbourne, bro.
Is he just being funny making his eyes like that, or was he really cross-eyed like that sometimes?
I don't think I've never seen him cross-eyed outside of just giving that real intense Ozzy look, always wearing eyeliner and always having a really cool metal hair, right? And then the two big tattoos right here on one on each side of his chest, right?
Yeah, dragon and something, right?
That was my Ozzy knowledge up until that was just before high school. That wasn't even in high school, really. That was before high school. I hit high school 86, 87, my freshman year.
We were still talking about it in high school, though.
We were definitely talk about it. For me in high school in Manteca, California, across the street from Manteca High School, back in then, at least my freshman year and sophomore year, there was Zippies. It was a little market, a little convenience store, a little 7-Eleven type market directly across the street. And that's where all the metalheads, all the AKA all the stoners hung out. That's where all the long hairs were. That's where the metal scene was. That's where all the denim and all the Levi jackets with the band patches on it.
Yeah,
that was an Aussie experience too, and that is a part of the culture that goes along with Aussie.
I always wanted one of those.
You didn't just buy the patches from Sears or whatever department store you went to. You didn't just go to like whatever store in San Francisco to get these patches.
International import.
Right? And you just assemble this. These jackets were usually made from patches you got at concerts or patches you got one at a time. You built these jackets. And these jackets weren't like you knew who the posers were. You knew who went out there and bought the store-bought jacket versus who did their own jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And you could tell. And people were like, you could judge the jacket by the patches on it. Like in the middle of the back, there were like full back patches that were pretty dope. Every jacket had at least these patches on it. Everyone who had a jacket, you had to have Iron Maiden on there and had to have Eddie on there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You had to have Iron Maiden. Right? Yeah. Everyone had Ozzy patches on there. Because Ozzy was evil, he was metal, he was dark, he was satanic, he was all the evil dark things, right? Def Leppard patches. Def Leppard was rock back in the day. Kind of hard rock on their first album or two. What was it? Pyromania. It was pretty rock, right? Def Leppard patches.
Metallica
Dio.
patch.
Early Metallica patches, a lot of Ride the Lightning patches. 86, 87, Master of Puppets had just dropped. So Metallica patches were definitely a thing. And Ride the Lightning patches with the chair and the lightning bolts, the electric chair. That picture with Metallica, that was all over the place, especially with the lightning bolts. So Ozzy was not just like a music standard or a metal standard. He was like part of the core of the whole entire scene, the vibe. And to show your metalness, your metalacity, your metallicity, right? To show how metal you were, you could show that by dedicating your fucking jacket with all these patches on it. And then, if you had band patches that nobody else heard of, or if you had, a style of a patch that you could only get from concerts, those were held in high regard. You would talk about that when I got there I was out there at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. name dropping all these, well, for us in Manteca and Ripon, those are big venues. That's the city. You know what I mean? So growing up across the street, we'll give a shout out to some folks, man. Rob Frick, Tim McFarland, Squirt, James Escobar, Mickey Crandall. Who remembers Mickey Crandall? Good Lord. Shout out to Mickey. I talked to Jeremy not too long ago.
That's a metalhead name right there.
Mickey Crandall. He had a lowered pickup truck, and he was friendly with the long hairs, right? The dedicated metalheads wore, like I was saying, the denim jackets with the band patches, concert patches, store bought. These patches were worn with pride.
Band t-shirts.
The band t-shirts.
Yeah.
Cutting the sleeves off your band t-shirts. If your ear was pierced, right? In the 80s, we only pierced one ear, the left or the right, and you could wear a cross. And if you were metal, you could do the cross upside down because for some reason, somehow, heavy metal got tied in with Satanism. Heavy metal,
Nancy Reagan,
worshiping the devil. Nancy Reagan. She was the drug one, just so you know. I have this clip. A lot through the mid 80s, there was this huge tide, this huge uprising, this huge uptick in Satanism, satanic worshiping, Satanism and music, and bands like Merciful Fate and King Diamond. Those guys didn't help that.
Yeah,
anymore.
they
King Diamond straight out come out and just admits that he's a devil worshiper, and all of his music is, So I mean,
Geraldo Rivera. That's what it was. A big Geraldo Rivera special, right?
I have a clip from that.
Okay.
And Ozzy got pulled into this. So here's the next memory I have of Ozzy. The guy's name was John McCollum, and rest in peace, John. Whatever was going on for you, John took his own life. But John's parents and his friends and the media and the police all made a connection. He wasn't the only one who had taken his life or tried to take their life, but folks who were into these things all had a lot of things in common, which was a love for heavy metal music. And the top of that food chain is Ozzy Osbourne. This kid, John McCollum, was allegedly listening to Ozzy Osbourne's Suicide Solution when he killed himself.
I remember hearing that story too.
This is that story, right?
I thought it was a legend.
Well, it's true. I mean, we may have put, embellished it and added our own stuff to it. You know what I mean? But overall, this is true. Now, any Ozzy fan, anyone who has spent any time listening to Ozzy or that knows a little bit deeper about this story, we all know that Suicide Solution refers to a liquid, a solution, like chemicals, like when you mix two chemicals. Oh, I don't know. Like whiskey, like wine, like alcohol. It's an homage to Bon Scott, the old leads.
The Danger of Alcohol Addiction song.
And it's an homage to Bon Scott, the late lead singer to AC/DC.
Yeah.
Right? Drank himself to death, and I think he drowned or drunk or something weird like that, right? Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. Suicide is slow with liquor. Is the opening fucking line of that song. It's not about killing yourself. It's about killing yourself with alcohol, right? I mean,
his parents still sued Ozzy and CBS Records.
Yes. Check this out.
On the program, I'll interview you in greater detail in a couple of minutes. The one thing I have to ask you now, though, is, of course, the vast majority of your fans and the fans of heavy metal music are not Satanists. But there is no doubt, at least not in our reporting, that that heavy metal music plays a role. Every single kid whose case we know about, who committed a violent act in Satan's name, was also into heavy metal music. What's your response to that, Oz?
Well, I don't really know. All I do is make music. I don't sit down and purposely plan to freak everybody out. I mean, I always have played heavy metal music. I suppose when I was younger and I started writing songs, my world was kind of dark and dingy. I came from a working class family who had nothing, no dough, no prospects of ever having much money, and so that's how I saw the world as a child. And so, not all my songs are about Satanism.
Of course,
in fact,
not all my songs are about Satanism.
Ozzy,
yeah,
I know that your lyrics are less excessive than groups like Slayer or Venom or Iron Maiden or some of the others, but still, for some reason, maybe it's because you've been around for so long, I see tattoos of your name on some of these, teenage devil worshippers' arms. Wherever I see devil graffiti and satanic graffiti, I see your name
Ozzy.
also.
Fuck yeah,
do
you
you feel a sense of responsibility, Oz?
The only responsibility I feel is the fact that I'm a true musician of what I play. I don't want to make anybody start doing all this devil worship crap, because that's not my intention. Although I have sang on a few songs about the devil, that's about it. I don't want anyone to harm themselves.
What about the issue of responsibility? What about the whole thing about guilt? Do you feel responsible?
I don't feel guilty. I feel kind of persecuted by everybody, because I'm not a bad guy. My intentions are not to harm anyone. In fact, it's directly the opposite. Like when people come to my concerts, I want them to have a good, fun evening out, And it seems to me that a lot of people judge the book by the cover more so than they write things about me.
If you listen to
but
the
they don't
lyrics
even
of
know
his music?
what they're talking about,
Yeah.
Well, there are lots of people out there, lots of people here in our studio audience who have a very different point of view.
Go fuck yourselves. It's
Yeah.
our show. We're
You
pro
guys have a
Ozzy.
different point of
He
view.
will get play in this ride.
He just told you it's not. It's the guy who wrote the songs just said, no, it's not.
He gets to say.
He
does.
gets to say. You don't get to tell him.
I mean, Geraldo Rivera, that PJ guy. All right. Where do we leave off here? Oh, all righty then. Yeah, the patches, the clothes, the Satanism. Ozzy got accused and actually sued over that, right? 1986, MTV and Ozzy Shot in the Dark. Jakey Lee's on guitar. This is pre-Zakk Wylde. Ozzy is in every house. Ozzy equals bat eater, devil worshiper, heavy metal singer. I am a solid fan at this point, and having found Tribute, the live album, I now know back to, I think, Blizzard of Oz, his very first album, with I Don't Know, Suicide Solution, and all those other bangers from Randy Rhoads, the Randy Rhoads licks, right?
All right.
In fact, I think I've determined my absolute most favorite Ozzy song is the live version of Steal Away the Night. It's not even one of his big ass hits, and it's the live version. The sound of his voice, the cadence of the song, and just the galloping of the whole. It's a fast song, and just the whole gallop of the beat and everything. And plus his voice, he's got a good. It's like a love song kind of, but it's I don't know if it's a love song, but I don't know, probably a love song, but it's fast. Love it. Anyways, Steal Away the Night, the live version. I think it's my absolute favorite. I get the most joy out of it. I fucking love that song. Anyways, shout out to Randy Rhoads. I want to give a shout out to Zakk Wylde. Jakey Lee was on a few albums in the middle, and he wrote some of Ozzy's good stuff, right? And I get that. Me personally, I'm a bigger Zakk Wylde fan, and me personally really feel that Zakk Wylde has been the only person who could really step up and create a new name or a name on top of Randy Rhoads for Ozzy Osbourne. And he didn't really show up until like the 90s or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to fucking Zakk Wylde. I like what Zakk looked like. I mean, he was young. He was in his early 20s, I think, when he joined, right? He was a kid. His baby face, you know what I mean? No hair on his face, and Rose kind of skinny, kind of big hair, kind of doesn't look like Axl, big hair kind of deal. Age a lot, you know what I mean? He's a bigger, not muscular, but he's a bigger bear kind of. But he wears a lot of layered kind of metal clothing a lot of times, or like a leather. Other ventures. Right now, he's playing guitar and he's touring with Pantera,
so that they can do their thing.
So that.
What's going on, everybody? This is continuing the set here. I have, since I'm rolling with the 1962 Hello Kitty, I figured it'd be appropriate that I play this band because they are. Please believe me, my love, and I'll show you. I'll give you all those things you thought unreal.
Wow, wow.
The sun, the moon, the stars, all bear my seal.
He's playing with his thumb. It's not a pick. It's his thumbnail.
Built-in pick.
Yeah. Ba-doo-ga-doo.
Follow me now and you will not regret leaving the life you led before we met. You are the first to have this love of mine. Forever with me till the end of time. Your love for me has just got to be real.
And that song's out like when Ozzy's like 20 or 21 or some shit. It's such a heavy, thick fucking song. Good Lord. NIB is thick with it.
I'm going to feel.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Zach fucking Wild, man.
That's awesome.
I should have grabbed this picture and I didn't think about it till right now, but there is from back to the beginning, the final concert, there's that one shot that has got Ozzy in the chair and it has all the other artists around him sitting at Ozzy's right hand because he's sitting in the chair like this. Sitting at Ozzy's right hand is Zach Wild. He's not standing behind him, he's not standing next to him. And I don't know if that sitting means anything, you know what I mean? But he's at the right hand.
The right hand man.
Yeah, James Hetfield's in the back. You know what I mean? Standing next to him, which is cool, right? Geezer Butler and Black Sabbath is, you know, they're the ones closest to him. And Hetfield's in there. Hetfield's rock royalty. You know what I mean? And all these other guys are rock royalty. But, you know, who's at the right hand? It's fucking Zach Wild, man. I thought that was dope. That was dope as fuck.
He's the man.
I noticed that. All righty. Yeah, 88. That's when Geraldo Rivera did his thing, exposing Satan, a special report, whatever that was. FU, Geraldo Rivera. 1989, No Rest for the Wicked tour. My first Ozzy concert.
Yeah, that was like our chance to go see him in his prime, and I did not get to see that.
My cousin Mikey. Shout out to my cousin Mikey, man. Got the tickets, or I could go because I was going with him, right? And he had a girlfriend, Renee, at the time. This was Sacramento Orco Arena.
Okay.
White Lion and Vixen opener for him.
White Lion.
Yeah. Wait. Still sings better than I can. And I've never written a song. I can't really talk shit. So, and then Vixen, of course, with their one-hit wonder banger, Living on the Edge of a Broken Heart. Right?
Yeah, what song?
Their big song. So we go there, and White Lion sounded pretty good, right? They were the opener. Vixen, their song, Living on the Edge of a Broken Heart in concert, live. Their drummer was on, their bass player was on. It sounded big. It sounded, you know, bassy. And at the end of the song, it's got this good rock tempo. It was pretty fucking good. That one song live was pretty fucking good, right? Ozzy comes on, Zach Wild's on stage. We're on Zach Wild's half of the stage. And I don't know what song it is, but I wrote my notes and they said I avoided putting cream pie, but that's exactly what they did. The girls from Vixen, because Vixen was an all-girl band, they came out with cream pies of like, it's supposed to be coconut cream or probably just whipped cream. And they were like throwing pies everywhere. And they were pieing Zach Wild. Well, they pied him. They pied his pants. And one of them pulled his fucking Johnson out, right? Like on the fucking stage. And it was like this shenanigans they're doing. And they came blah, blah, blah. And then like, blah. And then he had to like put himself back in his leather pants or whatever. And then wipe the whipped cream off. And I don't know if it was mid-song or if it was like during his solo or I don't remember exactly, but raise your hand if you've seen Zach Wild's wiener.
That's out there somewhere.
Raise your hand if he's, well, a hell of people have seen Tommy Lee's wiener, but raise your hand if you've seen Tommy Lee's wiener. He did a video. He showed it to everybody. It's not like I just peeked. All right. Anyways, so 89, my first Ozzy concert, going with cousin Mikey. Zach Wild, it was a good show. I think they opened up with I Don't Know, which I think is his usual opener. He'll open with O Fortuna, which is that gothic opera song. That's the name of that song, is O Fortuna. He'll open with that and then go right into I Don't Know a lot of times, or Mr. Crowley. I think when I saw him in Aftershock, we'll talk about Aftershock here in a minute. When I saw him in Aftershock, he opens with Mr. Crowley. The guy loves the crowd. The guy loves music. The guy can perform.
He spent his life on the stage, dude. That's what he does. Like all the way back to the 60s, he's been on the stage.
Yeah. 1991, No More Tears is released. No More Tears, Mama, I'm coming home. I don't want to change the world. Ozzy is 42 years old at this time, and he's been the metal standard for over a decade. Man, Heat. What's up, guys? Just doing
talking about
wieners. Sorry. No.
Not us.
Yes. 91, No More Tears. Ozzy is an absolute staple, and he has another banger album. It's a little more radio friendly, but it's still classic Ozzy. It's Zakk Wylde at his finest. It's Ozzy's angelic voice. Good Lord, does that man have the most unique voice in the world? It's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely a unique voice too.
So yeah, No More Tears was a banger. Mama, I'm coming home. Say again?
Easy to sell.
He just talks, lad. And he just, you know what I mean? It sounds good.
Well, he mumbles, but he can sing really good. He can't talk very good, but he can sing really good.
He's probably fucked up in most of those videos. He's probably really fucking drunk, right? So that was 91. He reaffirms his metal standardness as one of the icons, as one of the royalties, right? 1996. I find myself again with my cousin Mikey, Eugene's little brother, Don Camping, and Michelle. And we're headed to go Oakland Coliseum, the basketball Coliseum. We're going to see Ozzy and some fucking band named Korn. No idea who the fuck Korn is. Korn in my shit. I'm talking shit. I'm talking hella shit. All, you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't know who the fuck Korn is. I have no idea. I have no idea, right? So we get there, we pregame, we in the parking lot. And back in those days, Goldschlager was popular. So those guys, I didn't drink it. Those guys drank a whole bottle of Goldschlager and got fuckered up. They got fucking fuckered up, right? Everything was good. We're loud. We're rowdy. We had giant Cheech and Chong Bahama Mamas we're going in with because that's the thing. You know, I had probably 12 of those on me, or, 12 fatties, but I know I had one big one for the crowd, right? For the crowd. So what we're going to do, we're going to light it and brag about that we lit a fatty and let it go through the crowd. That's the whole brag, right? We get in, we go down, we go down the stairs to the floor because it's all general admission back then. And Michelle, shout out to baby mama number one. She's, I don't feel good. I said, well, we'll be okay. We'll stand here on the floor. We won't go too far into the crowd. We'll kind of be right here. Lights go out. This band comes on, and they come out with some of the I'm like, the fucking Tasmanian devil on stage. Good Lord, what the fuck is this?
Guy talking about?
What's this guy talking about? Turned out that was Twist, right? And then
Song.
A couple of songs in, he comes out with these bagpipes. I'm like, these guys are playing bagpipes?
What is this?
And I'm like, what the fuck? And this was the first crowd that I've seen that jumped instead of mosh pit. They still moshed, but they jumped instead of like the swimming left and right, back and forth, and almost falling down, that kind of every other kind of crowd. These guys would jump. I'm like, that's so dope. And their guitarist was all bent over head. He was all bent over and playing guitar. I'm like, they're not even banging their heads or banging their whole body. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? The bagpipes come out. The singer, Jonathan, he comes out with the bagpipes and he starts playing the song. And I'm like, I heard this song before. This is the metal nursery rhyme song, but it's not like fast metal. It's like slow metal. Welcome new metal, right? And it was Chutes and Ladders. I'm like, oh, I fucking heard this one time. I heard this fucking one like on some late night metal show on the radio. I'm like, I heard this shit, right? And like, that's like 4 or 5 songs in. Michelle's like, I'm not going to make it. I'm out. And she starts walking. I'm like, wait up. And she, as we exit, our distance to the exit and the amount of drunk she got were in direct proportion, because as we got closer, she got more and more drunk. Walking up the stairs, people were coming down. She was walking up on her hands and knees, kind of like holding on to the edges of the chairs, walking up the little stairs. When people were coming down, she just went over and climbed over the fucking people sitting in those fucking chairs. She climbed over the people. She climbed over people. I was like, fuck. So we get out there, we get to the top, and we get to the edge. The big round one, right? We get to the doors, and the security's like, if you go out, you can't come back in. It's just over. We're like, we got to go, man. So we go out, the door shut, we're sitting outside. We're sitting on the steps. I'm sitting one step over. She's sitting between my legs, and we're just going to sit there until the show's over. We'll walk to the car. We'll meet up with everybody, and we'll just go home, right? That was the plan. Rock Med comes. The medical folks for these rock concerts, Rock Med. Right?
Yeah.
These big dudes, and they're wearing red and all the shit and black, and like they look like paramedics, right?
Karen
They have a
Bag,
wheelchair.
yeah, paramedics.
So they grab Michelle. They put we love Michelle. they put her in the wheelchair. We go back inside the concert, and these guys are like just wedging through the crowd, like not like on the floor, but like on the round part up where all the food and snacks and shit are. And they're like, Rock Med coming through, and they show some badges. We go underneath the Coliseum. We go down and like underneath it, right into this whatever. We're underneath. I could hear the roar of the concert. I can't hear anything but the bass and the crowd going. So the show's still happening. Michelle's passed out. They assign her own little paramedic person that wakes her up every 15 minutes, right? Smelling salts or waking her up. Wake up, let her pass out. Wake up. They do this for like the next 2 or 3 hours for the entire concert, bro. The entire fucking concert. We miss Ozzy. I don't even get to see him, right? We miss the entire show. The show's over. They wake her up. They're like, okay, show's over. And she's all, oh God. And she's like 80% sober at this point.
Slept so good.
Yeah. She's like, oh,
Well,
she's
I'll
so
be back.
Can we go smoke real quick? I'm like, fuck, the show's over, right? I'm butthurt, but I think for the most part, I was pretty friendly about it. But I did tell her I'll never take you to another concert again. But anyways, Korn was bad as fucking concert. Good Lord, were those guys amazing. Became an instant Korn fan. Went out and bought their CD and stuff, and
saw them a couple times after that.
And been, we can do a whole episode on our Korn experience. So that was the second time I got to go see Ozzy. Korn, it was a damn good show. It would have been a good tour, right? So
would have been great if you saw it.
It would have been even greater if I got to see it. Fast forward a bunch of years.
Oh, great, we can hear the bass.
Oh, great. We could dance. Ozzy's doing the tour thing, and somewhere in the middle of here, I'm not sure when his show started. I didn't note it, but right around 2007, Ozfest is a thing. And for some reason, this one Ozfest up here in Northern California in 2007, where Lamb of God was the co-headliner, it was free. You still had to have a ticket, but the tickets were free. A friend of mine, shout out Amber, she had 2 tickets, and I meet up with her, and we go in, and they scan our tickets, and she just had to go pick them up from somewhere. She just went and grabbed them. Anyways,
Tower Records.
Went to Tower Records in Sacramento, California. We did. And so we go and see this Ozfest. We got to see all these bands. I don't remember too many of the bands. I remember it was the first time I got to see Lamb of God. And the whole crowd was, now you have something to die for. I'm like, these guys are the fucking Satanists, not Ozzy. Anyways, Ozzy came out. We had a good show, kicked ass. He had a bubble gun or a foam squirter gun that he was just shooting foam all over people and stuff. The Prince of Darkness. So there is a video. Hold on. I want to pull this video up. I think it's from the Osbournes. It is. Bubbles. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here we go.
Popcorn. That's great.
Ozzy, there you go. Look. Tiny bubbles.
Bubbles.
Oh, come on, Sharon. I'm fucking Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of fucking Darkness. Evil, what's fucking evil? I've had to borrow the fucking bubble gun. When did the male models
One of my favorite Ozzy lines.
I'm not going to do
Sharon.
it, Sharon. I'm not going to do it, Sharon. I just want to go and fucking play me with
I've
only
changed my
gas.
mind. Don't call me
You pissed
Sharon.
No, I don't care. I have to be on the fucking fucking stage for 2 nights from now. I don't want to use them fucking bubbles, them fucking stupid cannons. I don't want this fucking stupid fucking Santa Claus machine landing on the fucking stage. I just want to play rock and roll, man. But what are you going to do about it? We've got like 48 hours to sort this out. I can't have all that shit.
We sort it out, John.
How are
When
you
has
gonna...
it not been? When has it not been?
Fucking Sharon.
Fucking Bubbles. Was that from the TV show?
The Prince of fucking Darkness. Evil, evil, evil.
That was from the MTV TV show, behind the scenes in their house and stuff.
Was that? I assume so, man. I saw that clip way back then. That's always stuck with me.
That TV show was the best thing. I think Cindy says that back here. But
are we both hitting it? Sorry about that. Go.
The reality show on MTV when they went in their house and set up cameras and stuff was one of the best things ever. I remember talking about in high school, like, wonder what it would be like to be one of Ozzy's kids.
And now we know.
In the same house with him, eating bats all the time.
Well, now
and then
we
they
know.
came out with a TV show.
And you know what? Really, the cool part about that? Oh, there's lots of cool parts, but that brought Ozzy to a whole nother fucking generation again. It made him relevant to everybody who tuned in during those years. He picked up a lot of followers and a lot of viewers from that at that point. And good Lord. So fucking Bubbles. I'm Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of fucking Darkness.
Yeah, Bubbles.
So yeah, Ozfest in 2007. We fast forward a bunch of years. 2018. I'm going to Aftershock, and I got to see Ozzy, which turned out to be for the final time. I got up pretty close in the crowd because I knew, this was fucking Ozzy, man. This was, some of those royalties. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know, in my world, in my upbringing, in my childhood, in my 80s music, and in all of my musical influence, it's just fucking Ozzy Osbourne, man. He doesn't even live here.
2018, bro.
Huh?
He just turned 70 years old in 2018. So,
and he was rocking that fucking crowd like he'd been doing it for 50 fucking years, man.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It opened with Mr. Crowley, and Zakk Wylde was playing with him, and Zakk was just shredding on that stuff and really brought it back. And again, we've talked about this a lot. We talk about the 60s bands and the 70s bands and even some 80s bands. These rock bands sometimes were built all around a guitarist or built around a flashy singer. You know what I mean? You could build a band around that. And for Zakk to come in and just to be able to shred some of the Sabbath stuff and some of the Randy stuff and then his own stuff, that was pretty dope. Watching that guy. They played like not Fairies Wear Boots, Children of the Grave. They played Children of the Grave, but it was like a 9 or 10 minute version of the song. It was like long. They had Zakk threw in a really long solo in the middle of it, and the drums on and stuff. It's just it was amazing, right? So, anyways, shout out to Ozzy. The last time I got to see him was in 2018. Headlined Aftershock one of the nights. Might have been the Sunday night there at Aftershock or whatever they were doing back there in 18. They're doing 4 nights now. They might have only
Sacramento,
been.
Huh?
Yeah, that was Sacramento out there. We go every year. We're not going this year. It's whatever. Didn't like the lineup. Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, the Bubbles. And then fast forward to 2025. Sharon announces that they're going to have their final concert. I'm like, fuck. I don't put together an episode. Let's put together an episode. We'll have time. And this was a couple months before it actually happened, right? Before I knew it, the concert was here. And I'm like, and I got it and I streamed it. But being in California, it streamed at 7 a.m. Like if you watched it live, it was like at 7 a.m. over here at 8 a.m. And so it was kind of early. So I didn't watch it live. I had to go to work. And then go to work, come home, and I watched it. And I knew this was the last time. And I knew they propped him up. And I really thought if this were any other artist, I'd be like, you guys are fucking just squeezing one last dollar out of him. But I didn't feel that way with this guy. I was like thankful. Sharon, thank you for sharing him one more time. Sharon, thank you for putting this together. You know what I mean? It was a trip. There other bands or other famous people weren't there as much as they were. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. Like why weren't some other like Rob Halford, and maybe some of the guys from Iron Maiden or something. Some of these other guys that are
Old timey guys.
Yeah, these other old timey guys. Maybe they're not friends. They're all from across the pond over there. They're all, those guys. So anyway, so Back to the Beginning hits, and then he dies 2 weeks later. And I ain't gonna lie.
Better.
I was watching Back to the Beginning. I was watching it by myself. I was in the front room, and when it wasn't just Mama, I'm Coming Home. It wasn't just because that was the most epic song and that was supposed to be the big epic piece. And, it was. And it wasn't just the last concert or that epic song or him singing it, for the last time ever, right? It was watching all the other people cry in the crowd too.
Right.
It was watching like some of those young kids. I'm like, do you even know what you're watching? That was in his hometown or near his hometown or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that was over there. You know what
How
I
many
mean? He's
songs
not
did he end up
from
doing
here.
in that?
Huh?
How many songs did he do?
4 or 5 with Ozzy Osbourne, and then 4 or 5 with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. So he did 10 songs. That's kind of a concert.
That's a set. Hell yeah, that's a set.
You know what I mean? That's a set, bro. So I'm watching Mama, I'm Coming Home, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, I gotta watch this by myself. I'm like, fuck. So I'm rocking out, but I'm like, I don't know. Mixed feelings, man. It was really sad. Got a little thick in the eye on one side when everybody else was all crying. I'm like, and I started thinking back all of my Ozzy experience, all of the things. And it wasn't just like a guy who I heard of. I followed this guy. You know what I mean? And obviously I'm not the only one. And that's the part that feels the coolest. I wasn't the only one. Tons of fucking people.
He was an idol, man.
Tons of fucking people are giving this guy love. Do I have the Alamo? Did I save that? I did not. Oh, I did. Look at this. Check this out. We can close kind of with this. Where'd it go?
Oh, yeah. You sent this the other day.
Yeah. At the Alamo, we honor history in all its complexities. Today, we acknowledge Ozzy Osbourne's journey from regret to reconciliation at the historic site, and we extend our condolences to his family, friends, fans around the world. May he rest in peace. The Alamo, bro. He went pissed on the Alamo, or a statue at the Alamo. And
that was another folklore legend thing you heard about Ozzy back in the day.
That was in the original outline, and it didn't make the final cut. Yeah, and
you were only 10 years old when that happened.
It was 10. Ozzy pissed on the Alamo.
Pissed on the Alamo. You couldn't talk about the Alamo in school without someone saying that.
Ozzy pissed on the Alamo. Ozzy pissed on it. And everyone's an Ozzy expert. We all know him like we know him.
Yeah.
We all talk about him like we know him.
Between that and Pee-wee's Big Adventure is the only thing I really know about the Alamo.
Several years ago in the middle of church, someone's phone went off and it was Crazy Train. That's funny. Love that.
In church.
And then, of course, just a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks, just a few days ago. Oh, it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Louis. That's what you call a legacy, bro. That's what you call a living legend.
There's a guy I follow called the Celebrity Evangelist, and he goes around to like celebrity signings and events and meet and greets and stuff. And he always brings a Bible with their name on it, and he gives it to them. And he tells a story about giving Ozzy that Bible. And then later that night, they had ushered Ozzy away, and Ozzy made them reopen the floor so he could go back down there and get that Bible. So he was a Christian man, and we'll be able to see him in heaven.
Yeah. I love that.
We'll get to party with him one more time.
I found I made that intro video, and I found that AI clip where he's obviously with Jesus. And
yeah.
I love that idea. I do. Well, that's all I got for us tonight, folks. We're gonna wrap this up. I want to give a shout out to everyone who tuned in. We had some good numbers tonight. We had a few folks tune in and watch us, so we thank you guys for that.
Everyone in the chat, thank for the chat. Get the chat shout outs.
Love that too. Thank you guys. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out, everybody.
Late.
I used to be able to pop. All right, show's over. We still have watchers. We still have viewers. Hey, viewers. Shout out to you guys.
After show.
Somebody shoot us a text. Man Heat. Dude, we hella want you on the show. We do this. Well, today's Friday, but we hella do this every Thursday. Steve. I'm sorry. Breaking character. Sorry. Man Heat. Yes, we'd love to have you on the show next week.
Let's go.
I have a friend of mine from the wedding industry. We stayed as social media friends. Her name's Danielle. She is doing some really significantly amazing things at home with her kid. I don't want to give it away too much, but she was posting on Facebook about her approach to supporting her kids with ADHD and some of the things that she's doing with her youngins. And I started reading it. I'm like, you know what? Let's share this. Let's get some of this information out. So, next week, she was a wedding photographer and I was a DJ. This is fun. Fun fact. I was DJing a wedding and I got really sick that week and I'd lost my voice. And it wasn't just raspy. It wasn't, oh my God, this is really bad. I had no voice over a certain volume. It just wasn't there. It was really, so I couldn't even speak this loud. So at a wedding, I couldn't even get into my microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I kind of like blah, blah, blah. Anyways, 6-hour freaking wedding with no voice. I don't know if I pulled it off. I mean, I stayed the whole 6 hours. That doesn't mean I did it really well, but yeah, she was one of the photogs for that. I think we had a couple other weddings too, but really nice gal, really nice family. Say what?
But the week after we could have Raw Steel on the show.
We can have Man Heat. We can have Raw Steel. And you know what? My friends call me Raw Steel. That's right, Raw Steel. Is that like a film name, Steve? Lance?
I think you have to watch the Man Heat series to get that.
Get that joke. Got it. All right. And then, my fucking footage is. Who else we got online? Who else we watching? Somebody jump in and say, hey, we got a few folks. Who else is watching?
Mike was here, but only for one comment.
Nice. Oh, we have a police officer out of Oakdale. They posted his retirement. What do you call it? His retirement video. Like, I guess there's a last call in. There's a check-in, a last checkout.
That was an Oakdale guy? I thought it was a Modesto guy.
I think it's Oakdale.
That's cool.
And part of that, he saved a couple of people's lives and something. So I hit him on Facebook. Yeah, he's down to come on. I'll schedule that. Have that guy on here for a little bit. Cindy, what up, Sin?
Steve, we're looking at maybe August 14th. August 14th, week after next. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Going live. Let's see. Let's see if I still have his phone number in my phone. We're scheduling with guests live on the air.
Yeah, we're scheduling right now. Man Heat.
Let's see.
Right now. You know, I have a bunch of other videos on here. We got some watchers. We got some viewers. I will do this one here. Watch this. Check this one out. Brad Gillis is the guitar player for Night Ranger, right? He also filled in for Ozzy when Randy Rhoads died. Here he is on stage playing my favorite song. Look at him. He's fucking metal. He's got the metal look and everything. Gillis.
Feel that time is right. Love will flow like wine tonight. Give your love and it will come to you. If you
This Night Ranger dude doing it big. Doing it fucking big. You go, Night Ranger guy. I just like the cadence of the song and the sound of his voice. It's fucking amazing, dude. And who's on drums? That Rudy Sarzo? Tommy Aldridge.
Come on, baby, now I've met your honesty. You are here and I am free. Broken chains are falling all around.
It's a love song, man. Fuck yeah, it is.
Point my finger at the fools. Broken chains and broken rules. Let it be rebellion rules tonight. Steal away.
All right, you know, I have this other video that I didn't work into the outline. Let me find that one. Oh no, it's not that one. It says eek. Hold on, guys. And this makes me love Sharon. I wonder what it's like being Ozzy's friend, having to deal with Sharon. Not that having to deal with Sharon makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but she's the manager and his wife. You know what I mean? I imagine she did a lot to protect him.
Should be the
I
muscle.
imagine. You know what I mean? I would imagine that you had to get through Sharon to get to him to do any. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, check this out. This is funny shit. All right, boom. So that's the beginning of the beef.
Lily has had surgery recently, and she's had
For fucking Ozzy Osbourne, you just got to own bitch. Sharon will throw hands for Ozzy,
Yeah,
and
she
like
will.
your
You
husband.
can say whatever you want.
But to me, and that was all fine. But she brought up fucking Ozzy, bro, and she fucking threw hands. I mean, I don't know if it's some Nate Diaz hands or nothing, but you know. Anyways, hey, oh yeah, isn't that the Weird Science girl? Yeah, Kelly LeBrock. Yes.
I didn't know they named Kelly after Kelly LeBrock either. I guess,
I
but
had
yes,
no
they were
idea.
big fans.
I don't know. She had Weird Science and what? She did Lady in Red. She had full frontal nudity in Lady in Red. She did. All right. All right. Well, we're down to 3 viewers. Yay, that's the 3 of us. So I appreciate that. I think we peaked really high this time. I love that.
All right, there goes my dogs. Someone's at my door.
All
That
right.
means I gotta go.
Later, brother.
All
Talk to you soon. Late.